Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, the Positively Awesome Wrestling Elimination Chamber Extravaganza. That's right, not one, not two, but 3 weeks in a row, we are covering the Elimination Chamber. That's just because of how awesome it is and how awesome WWE's been in general. So I ain't mad about it. I hope these boys aren't mad about it at all. Before we go any further, though, we're going to introduce one of our, if not our definite favorite guests that we have on the show, Nick the Geek. How the heck are you, Nick? And how have you been enjoying some wrestling lately?
I am fantastic, Jim. Just come off doing your very successful title defense over on Wrestling with Your Thoughts on the Wrestling YouTube channel. Go check it out if you haven't seen it already. It's a fantastic show. But wrestling has been great. Even AEW has put on some interesting things because Hangman's a heel now. Thank God. He's got a bit of character.
He's got a mustache. He's dangerous.
Watch out for that guy.
It's not. Is it me, or does he just look like the last real man now? He looks like Silas Young.
He looks like Magnum TA decided he wanted to get back into wrestling. He ain't days to day.
Yeah, but wrestling's been great. I'm happy as Larry because Cody's back in the main event. We get to see probably a really good tag match with Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody on night one, but I don't know. I think it's leaning more towards Rock and Seth right now.
We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this one.
Okay, good.
Hey, Cameron, just to know, if you're still there, man, I know you usually hop in, you say what's up. But if you want to join us along with the predictions tonight, go ahead, stay in, give me your predictions. You could join in on this championship match. We like to stack the deck against Albert to make sure he loses that title. So the more the merrier.
Why I'm here, Albert.
2 for 2. Bring them all. Let's go.
Isn't it late for you? Nick, don't sleep. Nick, don't sleep.
Oh, yeah, I don't sleep, Courtney. It's 2 a.m-ish.
He do it for the love of the game.
Yeah, you can sleep when you're dead. I sleep like 3 days a week, if that.
I hear you. I hear you. It's not fun. But Tidy, swing it over to you. How the heck have you been, buddy? And how have you been enjoying some wrestling this week?
You know how I've been. You know what? I'm getting sick of this damn foot. It won't heal. So I've been laying in bed, being the Twitter bum, X bum, whatever you want to call it, and been watching Love and Wrestling with Bianca Belair and Montez. I'm digging it, man. I've been having fun with that shit. So that's like my new favorite show right now. I'm geeking out because it's behind the scenes. But yeah, lately, I want to talk about the whole Seth main event.
Oh yeah. We will. We definitely will. He said, it's daytime on your green screen, Nick. You need to get that fixed out. We pay attention to details because, like Not Sam says, everything matters.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I don't have control over what pictures I can put on the green screen on this channel.
Photoshop it. Come on now.
No, this isn't a green screen. This is just a virtual background of StreamYard.
What's up,
I don't have control over what pictures I put in them. I've got one to CM Punk on here, but I didn't think that was appropriate.
Oh, it's always appropriate. What are you talking about?
Do that.
Hoovin' too good. Hey, I don't know why you're bringing him up, but I love the Juice. Juice was awesome. He's like, if you smell
until he started doing impressions of The Rock.
I loved it. Shut your mouth. Let me tell you, one of the best Dynamites my favorite times is when I went to Dynamite and Juventud Guerrera just so happened to be on it wrestling Chris Jericho. I was like, I'm in a time machine. This is amazing. I don't care how sloppy Jericho looks. This is just cool shit. The Juice is in the ring with Chris Jericho in 2020. I think it was 2022. It was still amazing. So yeah, bring him up all you want, Lou. I love him. What up, Trent Sinister? Appreciate you joining us, man. Appreciate you joining. Stick around if you want to throw in your predictions. I'll get them in for you. We stack in the deck.
Stack that deck.
I am like the corporate Rock. That's what I am. I like just. I'm gonna screw you over, bro. I'm gonna screw you over.
And you know what? I'm bald, so I'm like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm like Teflon. Keep trying to screw me over,
bro. No, Stone Cold's on my side. There's no way we're doing any kind of booking where Stone Cold isn't on my side. That just doesn't work. That doesn't work. Doesn't work at all, bro. You're Albert. You're Prince Albert, bro. Prince Albert here. Oh my goodness.
Prince Albert wasn't a 2-time heavyweight champion like I am.
He I don't know.
He was an IWGP heavyweight champion.
He was actually.
Where was he heavyweight champion? Was it when he was King Tensai? Or Master Tensai, or whatever that was?
Giant Bernard.
Oh.
New Japan.
Yep.
I figured it was in Japan, but he was like Tensai over there, wasn't he? Lord Tensai.
No. He was Giant Bernard in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and then Vince turned him into Lord Tensai.
Yep.
I'll have to look that one up. I'll take your word for it. I just want to verify it because that's how my brain operates. But we're going to move on to the show. Before we get into the predictions, we're going to knock out our favorite moments from the week so that we can spend as much time as we need to on the predictions later. It's not a big card, but I'm sure we could talk about it quite a bit. So with that said, we are going to start with Prince Albert himself right there. What was your favorite moment from the week? And don't you dare say it was piercing somebody.
That's always my favorite moment of the week, apparently. I have zero piercings, so that makes it even funnier that's the case.
Living the gimmick.
So I really wanted to point out that there was no Pretty Deadly on SmackDown this week, and it broke my heart. Broke my heart just a little bit.
Well, it's a shame.
But I mean, moment of the week, I mean, is probably the moment of everybody's week. I mean, just The Rock coming back and talking that smack and being a heel again and closing down SmackDown like it was the days of old.
He lost. You don't know where he's at.
Nope. But yeah, exactly. The Rock joining the Bloodline. I mean, I think that's the hottest story in pro wrestling right now. It was absolutely tops for me. It's just every week that The Rock's going to be on TV with Roman, I feel like there's a little wrinkle, there's a little layer, something's going on. Everything's a little bit, this, a little bit that. I mean, you notice Bloodline came out, but The Rock came out by himself. They left to The Rock's music, not the Bloodline's music. There's a lot of
shout out to The Rock wearing a jacket from 1997 that he cut the sleeves off the shirt.
Oh, wow.
It's true. It's true. I mean, that's ridiculous. And The Rock,
that was the first $500 shirt he wore when he turned heel.
And The Rock, of course, being The Rock, doesn't even know how to do the Bloodline sign the right way. Or is that supposed to be something different? Or what's going on there? Yeah, throwing up the L. I don't know. There's a lot of things that were going on in that.
You wouldn't be wrong. Roman said, pay attention to the information we're about to feed y'all. Like, this is information, like every detail. So, and we all just eating it up right now.
The one thing I will point out before I swing it over to Nick, because I know he's dying to talk about this stuff. The one thing I did, because I went back and watched the promo 2 more times because I saw the clips of people taking a screenshot and saying he was pointing when he said this about The Rock. And just so we're clear, I don't think the picture circulating online matches with that moment. He did point over at The Rock, but I feel like if there was something there, because the one I shared was of Paul Heyman seeing it with his own eyes and Solo seeing it as well, kind of being like, I feel like if there was something designed there on purpose, they would have done a better job of making sure it was noticeable that they caught on to that, because they've been doing that with the Bloodline story the whole time. So to think they would just falter in this huge moment is kind of gets me a little bit skeptical that was engineered that way. But at the same time, I wouldn't be mad if it was, because it would be absolutely brilliant. And he did do the L.
Yeah.
There's no way that man doesn't know how to do this. Taylor Swift knows to do this.
Yes, she does.
The Rock should know how to do this, not this. I don't know. They've done a masterful job once again of just literally confusing everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Look, at the end of the day, I know that a lot of people are talking about this. I don't know if this is engineered from the beginning. I think that this is just going to be pretty straightforward. I think, The Rock's ready to – he's saying, hey, wait for the story we're going to tell you. I think Rock in his mind is saying, oh, it's, like the battle with me and Roman both being a part of the Bloodline. But something's screwy's going to happen on our way.
If it ends up being The Rock versus Seth at Mania and The Rock wins and then Roman loses on night 2?
I mean, that would be incredible. But, I mean, no, you don't think so, Jimmy? I'm going to hear what you guys think.
If The Rock ends up in Perth, I think you could be onto something, because I see him thrusting himself into the chamber match and winning it to throw himself in there against Seth. But if not, no. because someone has to win that chamber to get that title shot.
Sure.
And if it's not The Rock, you're screwing someone again, which you might have been doing that when you did it with Cody, and it caused this big uprising that we don't know whether it was intentional or whether it was not intentional. I don't know. So to think they would pull that same trick twice, I don't think they would do that. So The Rock has to be in Perth for that theory to work, in my opinion.
True. Very true. Though I do think this was intentional with Cody.
Yeah.
They were trying to get a Daniel Bryan-esque movement behind him, and they succeeded.
Yeah,
they fully succeeded.
Yeah, and my favorite thing is like the people on the internet screaming about. They're like, "Oh, they try to redo it, and look, it wasn't as good as the first."
It was better.
What? What? It wasn't as much because it wasn't as long, or it's because you thought that it wasn't organic. No, they worked you. They got you. It's actually better because they got you.
Yeah. Wrestling fans need to remember that getting worked is why we watch it.
Exactly, but wrestling fans think they're so smart that they have to be above the curve on everything like that. And you know what? It's fun when things happen that you don't expect. It's fun.
That's a bold one. I don't see that one happening, but that would be wild.
I'd be happy with a 4-way to unify the belts, but I don't think they're going to do
that. Ain't happening. They just put
not
those belts out. That's money. That's merchandise.
It is a possibility with Netflix now getting everything.
Well,
but
isn't that
as far
for
as
you
I know,
guys?
with you guys in the States,
what up?
Like
Yeah, they're still going to be on USA.
Yep.
SmackDown's going to be on USA. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, Muhammad.
Yes, SmackDown is going to be on USA, and NXT is on CW.
Thank you very much. I got an old one. This is my new one. I need to get like a real custom one made, but everyone keeps always backing out. I need to get a real one. Hopefully, Matt Cardona got one for me when I go up there in Philly this for WrestleMania. He better got one for me. That's for sure. The one thing I'm going to talk about with the Rock stuff is, so he came out in the vest shirt, and I was like, oh, it's happening. And then he told the Salt Lake City, he says, before we get into things, congratulations, this is order. And he congratulates them on having the new in-the-house attendance record, not just in Salt Lake City, but in Utah. He goes, and if you're wondering what the record is, it is the record for the most trailer park trash in one spot. And I literally started tearing up. This is beautiful. This is The Rock that Tidy wasn't there, but me, Nick, and Albert, this was our Rock.
Yes, it was. Yes, sir.
Picked out of 1998, 2000, whatever version. It's a combination of the two, and it's beautiful.
Yes.
They took the versions of the best Rock, they combined them and put them in our current storyline, which is arguably one of the greatest storylines of all time, with one of the greatest characters of all time, and it's mind-blowing to me. And I just hate that anybody can't just live in this moment. Because this is crazy.
Jimmy,
insane. And it's going to be all the better when he rock bottoms Roman on night 2 and Cody wins.
What you got, Tidy?
As someone who didn't witness all The Rock, I mean, I've seen the documentaries of some of his older stuff, and I freaking loved it. I saw a lot of good stuff with The Rock versus John Cena, etc. But as someone who's not knowing exactly what's going on, I was sold on the character immediately. As soon as he said that, I'm like, oh shit, he's got ammunition. He came prepared tonight. And then I love the rest that was going on. It was slap the herpes off your lips. Like that was some shit. Like
y'all get to recognize greatness in the flesh. Because finally, I was like, oh my goodness.
Your 600 inbred grandchildren.
Oh my
goodness.
It was great.
I'm like, man, that's cold. Like you're thinking he's like a corporate board guy. I'm like, nah, he's leaning full into this.
And I get the people that are like, it's the same old shtick. It is the same old shtick. But it's still fun.
It's still great.
It's still great.
It wasn't.
It was great in 1997. It was great in 2006. It was great in 2010, and it's great now.
Ricky Starks looked like the great one, and I'm. It's crazy that I'm saying this because how much I love Ricky Starks and how much I've turned on The Rock. But that's how great that shit was on Friday that I've instantly just said, the hell with all that. Nostalgia's back, and The Rock is now running things, and that's the greatest thing of all time. I love it. Oh
and what I do love right now is that they've taken, Triple H is masterful in a way of understanding okay, where I was at this point and where I am now compared to where these new ones are, compared to where they are going to be in a bunch of years. And it's really fun that he took, it's like, and I've seen it, Triple H versus John Cena, WrestleMania. I watched it with a good friend of mine and his young kids, and his kids were big Cena fans, and he was the biggest Triple H fan ever. So it's like, like a house divided, and that's what we're going to have here. A house divided, it's like Roman Reigns and the Bloodline and The Rock and like my nostalgia and, everything that I cared about when I was a kid compared to the current day fan where they grew up and they're so invested in Cody's story. And we're sitting there going, man, from the second Roman Reigns said he was the head of the table, we knew there was a bigger story than anything else that could ever be. And we all said, there's this thing with The Rock that's going on. So it's amazing. He's able to pull us all in together and get us all invested into one story. I mean, it's masterful work. And you can sit there and you can talk about all the negatives that you want to talk about when it comes to WWE. But Triple H is putting every single bracket of fan that you want in exactly the right place. And then he's aiming them right at the main event of WrestleMania. He's got everybody in the palm of his hands. It's exactly where we want to be. Wrestling is back, and it's fun again, and we should be enjoying this because we haven't had this in a really long time.
I agree with what you just said, 1,000%. Muhammad said his favorite moment was R-Truth getting a chair. Very funny moment. SmackDown was amazing this week. I rarely ever say that, but SmackDown was amazing.
Excellent.
Flew by, which it was awesome. I really enjoyed SmackDown this week. But before we go on to the next person's favorite moment of the week, real quick, go around the room and ask a simple question. With this version of The Rock, who is someone that you want to see him in the ring with, sharing the ring with? On the microphone, not in the ring. We're talking about strictly what The Rock does best. Who is one person you want to see The Rock share the ring with?
How fantasy can I make this?
Yeah.
Okay. Nick says LA Knight. Albert, what do you got?
How fantasy can I make this?
It has to be someone that's within the company now.
Damn. All right. Because I wanted to say MJF.
Say Austin, that's fine too.
No, I was going to say MJF.
Yeah, that's some crazy fantasy booking.
But I'd actually love to see him go up against Punk again.
Thank you. That was going to be mine. The face Punk. Let's see what face Punk can do against this version.
Yeah, against heel Rock.
I think it ends that well for Punk this time around.
No.
I honestly think Punk holds his ground a little bit more than people going to give him credit for. But I think, but I think Rock is going to torch him.
I don't care if it's a nursery rhyme. When it's a heel nursery rhyme, it just is the best thing ever. So
it's true. It's true.
It would be a big mountain for Punk to climb, but I'd be dying to see it happen. So since you took Punk, I'll say Austin. Just give it to me because I love it. Tidy, what about you, man? Who you want The Rock to eviscerate? JD McDonough.
Drew. I would
Giant
say Drew because
bobblehead.
I've been loving what Drew's been doing. So I would say Drew.
Tidy. Good choice.
Drew. Hey,
good choice.
I love the idea of you picking Drew, bro. That's fantastic. I would love to see Drew spin that shit on.
If some bullshit happens to where Drew doesn't go into WrestleMania and he has a reason to fight about Rock's bullshit that he's doing, I would love it.
There you go. He was talking about Rock taking the spot, and I think the only way it happens is if he goes and takes it at the chamber. So if that does in fact happen, your scenario is definitely going to happen. Like how we just made that shit go full circle there. I love it. Nick, you're up next, sir. What was your favorite moment of the week in wrestling?
Well, I'm going to go on the polar opposite end of what Albert said because I'm going to talk about Cody and Seth's promo on Raw. It was masterful.
Yeah.
One, Seth Rollins is the modern day Macho Man Randy Savage. I don't care what anyone says, and I mean that I'm always the one. I'll explain why. There are always three. They say they've got 4 pillars in AEW. That's bullshit. There are 3 pillars to a company. There's always 3 pillars to a company. It was Hogan, Savage, and Andre. Then it was Hogan, Warrior, Savage. We had Edge, Cena, Randy Orton. Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin. There's always 3 guys. There's
Austin
the 2 guys in the main event.
There was
and there's
probably
the guy
5 or
who's right
6.
below them that could be slotted in when necessary.
Yeah. The
right
Rock,
now,
The Rock, Austin, Triple H one, I would say there was like 6 of them at that because you had Kurt Angle and you had Jericho and you had Undertaker and you had Kane
and Vince.
Yeah, like you had like you had double the pillars, but I get what you're saying 1,000%. I do get what you're saying.
Well, Seth currently is filling Randy Savage's WrestleMania role. and he's doing a marvelous job at it. But it is absolutely brilliant to see Seth go from crazy, goofy, visionary, revolutionary Seth freaking Rollins to take the glasses off and super serious Seth. All right, that line about "you will need a shield," was masterful, and it doesn't get talked about enough. I was talking to my brother about this the other day. One thing that makes a big difference in professional wrestling for how good you are is your facial work. Cody Rhodes' facial work is fucking phenomenal. Pardon my French.
Yeah,
that man's tells a story with his eyes. The emotion, it reads through on his face perfectly. That whole promo segment just made me. I was sitting like I am now on the edge of my seat, thipping, watching it, going, "This is great. This is what this situation needed." Seth needed that promo on Monday, without a shadow of a doubt. It was just. It was a masterwork of promo. Just loved it.
What he said for fighting Roman or Rock, I am the only unique person to be your shield. It was such a great way of saying it. I was like, he's right. He's literally, I think his fight with Roman was like one of my favorites. I think
Roman didn't win.
And there's Jimmy. Yeah. But the way that Seth got under Roman's skin and how it was the thing, because they were the shield. And then Seth can still go back like, you know what? I was the architect of the Shield. Yeah, I love that shit for him.
And the architect of Roman's downfall too. I mean, I love the whole story that Seth told. I mean, that's a top flight main event, promo. That's exactly what you want.
It was on the background too of what just happened. I mean, it was basically them on stage versus Roman and Rock, and them looking at him like, "Hey, y'all are group number 2. We're the group number 1 story. Y'all are always going to be number 2." And the fact that Seth was yelling at The Rock, just because you're on the board, you get to do what you want to do, and F this and F that. And Seth was bringing straight fire and passion. That was not. It didn't feel like a script at all. Seth is like pissed. This is some bullshit. Yeah. And then for him to come off that and then say that on Monday. That is, stars are aligned for Seth right now, and I love it. The man that brought me to the dance is bringing me back to Raw. I want to see Seth more and more.
So I'll say this about Seth. A couple months ago, I said, all right, after years of saying Seth Rollins is the best in the world, and I'm talking across the board, not just in ring,
all around,
completely different argument, but across the board, as far as what a professional wrestler does and is responsible for doing, I think Seth Rollins was the best in the world. Until a few months ago when Gunther started kind of just pulling me in with his promos against Miz. I was like, this is something I didn't think Gunther had. And then Seth comes out Monday, and not even just this Monday. Ever since he's been injured, he's been cutting promos that make me go, man, I might have jumped off the boat too soon.
Yeah.
And the promos that he's cutting right now are exactly why I think his maniacal, arrogant, laughing character works so damn well, because he's out there to have a good time because he's the best in the world and he's wanting someone to prove him wrong, but he's such a madman. He's like, it's just not, there's nobody out there that's better than me. All right, that's how I perceive Seth Rollins, like a Joker. He just plays it to a face right now. But there was times when even the Joker knew it was time cut the shit and get a little bit serious here with things. And when he did, you knew something serious was going down. Right now, when Seth Rollins is getting serious, it shows why that character that he plays is so damn good, because he can't get away with doing what he's been doing the past few weeks the whole time. It loses meaning, loses power behind. It's just like you're just saying the same shit over and over again. When you get the guy that's out there just having a good time saying, no, we're in a very serious situation, and now I'm going to get down to business and tell you how it is. And he does it so freaking good. People forget how great of a promo Seth Rollins is. It's crazy. So hold on real quick. As far, Punk's my guy. He's my number one. He's my guy. But as far as Seth clears him. Like, sorry, it's not really a debate.
Even as a full package is better than Punk.
It's his experience too. I mean,
I think the only on the microphone. Punk's better on the microphone. Like this.
I think Punk clears him on the microphone, but I think everything else Seth is better at him at.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Ring. in ring, there's very few people that can touch Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
AJ Styles, Kenny Omega, Kazuchika Okada, Bryan Danielson.
You're not throwing Will Ospreay in that list?
Bret Hart.
Or is he top of them?
Bret Hart does not count. He hates professional wrestling.
How dare you?
He does, bro. He was taking shots at Gunther the
He
other
hates
day.
professional wrestling. He watched the Gunther. He was live in Cardiff, and all he did was complain about Gunther versus.
I saw the interview clip from this past week where he was basically shitting on Gunther. I'm like, bro, that's fucked up.
He doesn't and I understand where he's coming from.
It's his opinion.
And because in his day he was taught you don't hurt your opponent. The idea is to make everything
he's just turned into his dad. Brett has turned into Stu. He's going to look like a T-Rex in a couple of years.
Does not take away from the fact that he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
For sure. Best there was, best there ever will be. But right now, you take him out of the equation.
He didn't evolve.
That hates the business.
His mindset hasn't evolved with the business. That's my thing with Brett.
Yeah.
And he reminds me of a person we know very, very well, you and me, Nick. in the fact that his mindset is of that era, and I'm not shitting on that era, but that's not that era anymore. And Brett is stuck in that mindset, and that's where it's like, Brett, come on, man, just chill. I get that he has a reason to be grumpy, and he's literally one of the greatest to ever do it, so he's allowed to have his opinion, and I can't tell him he's wrong. I just think he's stuck in an era.
I just think he likes a certain style. That's it.
And that's fine.
That's it. And look, that's the thing. It's like, look, there are people who also really like the Young Buck style. We are like,
and we tell them we're wrong all the time.
Of that fandom, you know. So
credit where credit is due. This new EVP thing they're doing,
hate it.
They're doing well. Like I thought it was going to be
true, but
trash
they are doing well.
When it first came on, but I don't particularly like the angle because I don't want them anywhere near Sting's last match.
Yeah,
but they're doing a good job. They've got the douchiest of all facial hair in the soul patch. They're wrestling in suits. They're just acting like complete arseholes, so they're being themselves.
I'll tell you what. If it comes up at the end of the show with guest of the week, I'll give you my 2 cents on it. If not, I'll let you know after the show what I think about it. Okay. Just because I will go off the rails pretty quickly because it's of who it is. But Tidy, we're swinging over you, man. What was your favorite moment of the week?
You already said the bloodline, and you've already said Seth.
They done jacked number 1 and number 2 answers.
My kind of thing is, well, then I can expand on it. All right, so bloodline, they introduced Rock as a member, and we're thinking it's going to be a fight for the head of the table. So thinking about that, it brought up a lot of questions in my head, besides Cody wanting to hit Rock, or besides something with Seth and Cody fighting the Rock and them. They're just introducing him as a member. I thought this was going to be a head of the table story. So I think eventually it's going to have to come down to Roman and him. Somebody's ego is going to get a check somehow, some way, whether someone loses or something doesn't go someone's way. Eventually it's going to be like, well, because of me, I'm the board member. I'm the guy. If Roman ever fails in any way, and he came out so confident. Would he come out like telling Jimmy, hey, come here, Jimmy? Jimmy's like, the hell? Kind of hesitant
tonight, Jimmy.
He brings him in and he's smiling the way down the ring like he's got this whole plan figured out. It's not even a plan. It's a definite, because he just made The Rock a member, not the head. It seems like Roman's still in charge. So that's a trip to me.
Roman thinks he's still in charge.
Roman thinks he's still in charge.
The Rock never acknowledged that he was a member of the bloodline. He just said we are the bloodline.
That's a good
point. Who cut the promo?
Yeah.
Rock cut the promo.
Yeah.
Roman stood there and said nothing.
Well, he said something at the beginning.
Then they went off the air.
Here's some information.
How long can Roman's ego stand somebody bigger than him being in the picture?
See, this is where I think me and you are going to have such different opinions on this, Nick. Since we're on this subject again, let's go ahead and ask this question. When that eventually happens, who's going to be the face? Who's going to be the baby face?
Roman.
So, but if he's the one that gets like his pride in check, wouldn't that make him the heel?
No, not necessarily,
because he let his ego get in the way.
Roman can get embarrassed by The Rock on multiple occasions. which
I
will
don't
build
think- I don't think you
sympathy
wanna
in
do
the
that with
crowd,
Roman.
or at least apathy in the crowd, realizing that, oh, maybe Roman doesn't deserve this because The Rock is using him as a stepping stone to get his own way. If they do it like that, Roman's the babyface.
Okay.
If they just do it where Roman gets his ego checked, then The Rock's the babyface.
Don't do that.
My thing is this: it's going to be hard. How long? Like, all right, so we're going to go a full year where we're going to boo The Rock. I don't think that's. I don't know how long that plan can last, and that's why it's hard for me to think that. I think that there is a chance that eventually there is a story eventually down the line that Roman is going to turn babyface. I just don't know if The Rock is in that story. I think that maybe The Rock gets eliminated from the bloodline, and then eventually the bloodline falls apart. So
Dude, their match happens at Crown Jewel this year.
I'm gonna go ahead and name drop not Sam here again. He laid it out perfectly for why The Rock's heel character is so damn fun. Is because you boo him until he gives you what you want, which is the heel version of The Rock. But then what happens is you start cheering him, and he goes, "No, you're not allowed to cheer The Rock. You didn't want me then, you don't get me now." And that's when he gets better as a heel. So as far as being the heel in this day and age, especially with someone like The Rock, I think he can do it for a year. He's always going to have that mixed reaction, but I feel like if the storyline plays out, as long as it's leaning more towards him being booed than cheered, or we're just cheering to the insults because we just love them so much, as long as they're booing him in the right moments, I think it's fine, and he can continue to do what he does. And that's why The Rock heel character is so fun.
Well, I said to Simon Randy on the show the other day, The Rock right now is reminding me of John Cena's return at the Royal Rumble in 2010, 28.
2008.
When he was stood there like a cocky prick.
Yeah, 2008. I was there. I was there, 2008.
Yeah, well, then you'll remember, Albert, that when his music first hit and he came out, the entire crowd goes ballistic.
Yes.
For about 15 seconds. And then everyone remembers, wait a minute.
Oh, we hate him.
I hate John Cena.
Yes.
Do something we don't want him to do.
It takes about 15 seconds of everyone going absolutely crazy before half the crowd go, wait a minute, we hate John Cena. And they start booing and going, Cena sucks.
Yeah.
It's the same with The Rock now. When his entrance music hits, everybody loses their shit.
It's The Rock.
Then he walks out and they go, oh, wait a minute, he's a heel. We got to boo him.
He's about to call us a Rudy Poo candy ass, and I don't like that. That's why like I'm saying, like I think the heel character works so well, especially with he'll be free, and he has less resistance from the head of creative now.
Yeah.
You don't have someone saying like, well, let's try this instead. Like, no, Rocky, whatever you think is going to work. And since you're so good at this, it's probably going to work. There's no need to try and hold you down a little bit. So yeah. So Tidy, who do you think is going to come out of this with their ego getting checked first? Since you brought this question up, or you brought up the whole thing again, we're going to come back to you with this question.
I think it'll be Roman that first feels like is like he doesn't have perfect power because something's going to go wrong, because WrestleMania is around the corner. It was like, Cody's got to finish the story. I can also see Cody not winning. I can see some bullshit happening, and that's going to piss off everybody. I mean, I think the odds are low. Yeah, Nick's going to die right now. There goes all the air out of Nick's lungs. Yeah, even saying it, right? I mean, because we all got on this whole thing like 2 weeks ago. We're kind of pissed about The Rock because, worked my ass. But then I was also thinking, what if this doesn't work, right? So imagine now saying it. What if Cody loses? That is some crazy shit. Would that work in the story? Or
hey, bro,
this
don't kill my vibe. Like, what are you doing, bro?
What?
Is it better for Roman?
No, Daddy. Don't put that out there in the universe. Last year, I was there live, and I had to see Cody lie next to a rubber chicken after putting in the best performance of the night, while Jimmy walked out the arena with his hand held high.
Okay, my point was,
I'm going again this year, Daddy. I do not want to see the rubber chicken return at WrestleMania. Cody needs to win
in that ring.
I know he needs to win.
Of Roman's
He's most
reign,
likely going to win.
No pun intended. Is to elevate somebody. You don't give somebody a title that is a heel for over 1,000 days unless the end game is to elevate somebody.
No, I know, I get it. Anyways, back to my point. My point was this. I'm sorry about the Cody thing. I had to say it. Because what if?
Bro,
I suppose the chance.
Cody wins. That's gonna pit, and then now Roman's a loser. But guess who's always a winner? Who's the biggest heel right now? Then that would be The Rock. How's The Rock as a heel gonna take Roman losing? And you just disgraced our bloodline. That's probably even with The Rock's help. So I think that's when Roman gets his ego in check, because now you got this guy basically screaming at you. Like, he ain't gonna hold back on Roman. I don't know. Now I'll see what The Rock
Right,
now.
right. But then Roman, who gets insulted, attacks The Rock with Solo and the rest, gets them to turn on him.
Not with Solo.
And turns, and that's
Solo
what
will be on
happens.
The Rock's
The Rock
side.
turns babyface again, and then eventually Solo turns his back on Roman, and that's eventually when Roman finally becomes a face
Solo
again.
will-
The only one that's
Solo was sent by
not
the
sure.
elders, and Rock is literally one of the elders. So Rock's one of the
Exactly,
people
one of the elders.
that sent
I get
Solo
that.
in the first place.
Very true. But Paul Heyman's in his ear the whole time.
Hold on.
Jimmy Uso is the only one that seems like not really sure. When Roman came to give him a hug, I can definitely see Jimmy being like, Roman's like, let's get him. And then Jimmy be like, I don't know, man.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you this. Solo ain't gonna side with either The Rock or Roman, because Roman told Solo, "You're next." So when The Rock gives Roman the boot and tries to step up, Solo's gonna be like, "No, I'm next," and that's gonna create a three-way effect right there. Tell me I'm wrong. Because who's in Solo's ear?
Paul Heyman.
Heyman, the leech. So he's got Solo in his head, like, with no question about it, you are the next tribal chief, head of the table. So when The Rock steps in, Solo, whether he was there because of the elders or not, he's going to turn on The Rock too. He ain't with it.
You also got Heyman and Braun Breaker's here. You also got Heyman talking to Grayson Waller on SmackDown about how's he going to interview Seth and Cody. So some shenanigans can
Think
happen.
of a two-man power trip between Solo and Braun Breaker in a year from now with Paul Heyman as their guy. That's fantastic.
That'd be crazy.
That's fantastic. So, yeah, that's my. I don't think Solo sides with either one of them when this thing comes to a head.
You know what the fun part is? None of us have any idea.
Yeah.
And it's the best thing going right now. Thank you again for giving this to us, because we haven't had this in a long time. Look at this. We have no idea what's happening. That's so much fun, guys.
We could come up with 20 scenarios that we all loved, and then they could still give us one that works. And it's just like, this is great. That's
the irony is, you turn over the channel to AEW and you know exactly what's going to happen on every single show and every single minute.
Oh, damn it. There we go.
I didn't say that. All right.
Double turn did surprise me. I was surprised they did that. I'll give you that.
I'll swing it back over to myself. My favorite moment of the week. We'll get it out of the way so we can jump in these predictions. I'm going to AEW. We're going to stick with AEW. Great transition, Nick. You pooped on them so that I could bring them up. Bride shit all over Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland going to a tie 2 weeks ago. Shit all over. You dummies. You can't do this to Swerve. You just can't do that. He's like the one who has broke through that glass ceiling and said, it's my time. And they did this. And I'm like, oh, you sons of. But then this week happened, and I'm convinced Hangman is the guy right now that needs to have that title. And the way I think it's leaning is what they're doing. Why else would Hangman have basically kind of wiggled his way into this and got real conniving when it benefited him to do so? Why is he in this match to begin with? It's because they want the title off of Samoa Joe, is what I would assume, because again, I love Samoa Joe. His track.
He's too old to hold it for a long run.
Yes, he can't have a long run because of his situation. It's not that I'm hoping. It's just this. Based on the last few years he's had, he gets injured quite a bit. So you put it back on Hangman, because now, as opposed to his last run, he's actually got character, as you pointed out earlier, and he's interesting. I don't like the guy, and I'm right now saying that they should put the title on him at Revolution to prolong Swerve's rematch with him and winning it from Hangman at All In. The way you build this up, because that is
that plan, Jimmy.
Hold on. That is your absolute best storyline that you could do, and it's so easily written at this point.
There's a wrinkle in that plan, Jimmy.
What's that?
His name is Will Ospreay.
What about
at
him?
All In?
He can have Kenny Omega for the third time.
Yeah, except it's rumored that it's in his contract that he gets the main event of All In.
I don't buy into the rumor contract bullshits. I just don't. And honestly, you could still main event Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay at All In without the title.
True.
So, and I wouldn't be mad at that because of their history. Like,
no, Kenny's not going to be back by All In.
I don't know. I'm just again spitballing. And I was
It could be Danielson.
Huh?
It could be Danielson then.
That'd be a fantastic match for Bryan Danielson. And it's one he wants.
And everybody's happy, you know.
But if Swerve is the guy that you want to be your next guy, and he's gotten to the point he's at right now, the best thing to do is to prolong that crowning moment to the biggest crowd you have. Give it to him at All In. And again, you give Hangman a redemption on his first title run that we only remember for having really good matches, and the rest of it was just kind of boring. It's when AEW kind of started to traject downward, if I'm being honest.
It was overshadowed. Punk got there, and it was just overshadowed.
It was. They handled it horribly, in my opinion. But they've managed to, like, they're on a trajectory up right now, and I think that's the best thing they could do over the summer is build Swerve up as the next baby face, push everything in front of him that you possibly can to prevent him from being able to get the Hangman, and then crown him at All In, and that crowd will go insane.
Swerve needs to be the guy. End of story. And he needs to be AEW's first Black World Heavyweight Champion.
He will be. He will be at this point. My thing is, like, I know he should be the guy. Build it to that, though. Don't just jump the gun on it. Like, I was mad at
like they did with Hangman Page.
Huh?
They say they built Page for 3 years. It was like that was a nonsensical storyline that was mainly told on Being the Elite, a form of media that 2/3 of your audience do not watch. Right? And they didn't see most of the storyline because most of the storyline was on BTE, and then they just had snippets on Dynamite. It does not the same. And
little just nods that if you blink, you missed them on the show.
Yeah.
Like, if you're watching, it was great how they were doing it. It was just stretched out so thin.
Yeah.
That it was, again, it could have been one of the best stories, but it just didn't work that way. I'm good, bud. Thank you for jumping in, man. I appreciate that. So yeah, I wanted to give AEW love and correct that and apologize to Hangman Adam Page because I was hard on him for quite some time.
Many debates about Hangman because I'm a big Hangman guy.
But this heel thing for him is fantastic.
Yep. And finally getting to show the person that I've always thought that I always knew he could be.
Yeah. So you can't ever call me a biased person because I literally just showed you. You proved me wrong, and I'm there. Hangman Page, win that title. That shit would be so good right now. He is such a he looks like a badass. That mustache. It's crazy.
And the mullet.
It's so good. And he just looks, when he's angry, it's like, I believe you.
Yeah.
So with that said, we're going to move on to the Elimination Chamber predictions. And since there's only 4 matches, I'm adding some little fun additions to the questions because we got to separate them to make it better. I like it to be, honestly, I'm stacking the deck against Albert here. We got to get that title off him because I'm a triple champion. I need to be a quad champion. I've been saving this picture in my little photo thing for way too long to be posting of my 4 championship titles. It's going to happen this weekend. So, first match up is going to be Nia versus Rhea Ripley. I think this is a clean sweep, so I didn't add anything extra because I really couldn't think of anything to add extra to it. So, Nick, you're first because you're the guest.
Oh, something tells me it's going to be Rhea Ripley, and it's going to be Rhea Ripley in a very impressive manner. This is her Hogan Andre moment. She's going to crush it because she's in her own country. Good on her. I grew up in Australia, so I'm really glad they're getting a pay-per-view. They deserve it. There's a lot of wrestling fans in that country. Continent. But, Rhea. It's going to be Rhea. Nia's going to put a good showing in. She's been doing good work since she got back.
Top of the line work. Let's correct that statement.
It's been great. Nia's been great since she got back, but Rhea's going to smash her and she's going to squash her. This is her, like I said, it's her Hogan Andre moment. She's probably going to hit the Riptide on her if she can. If not, she's definitely going to do a body slam.
She riptide, man. She definitely.
It should be a really good match. It should be a really good match. It's going to be a real test match for Rhea because it's the first time she's gone up against someone bigger than her, and I mean decisively bigger than her. So I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, Rhea.
Albert, what about you? Nia Jax.
It's Rhea Ripley. It's not even close, and it's going to be so fun to see what the fallout from that is because Rhea Ripley is going to be heavily cheered in Australia. I know that the plan is probably going to be, okay, we might have difference of opinions here, but it looks like they're leaning towards Rhea versus Becky for WrestleMania, which is going to be interesting to see how that dynamic works if it does happen, to see who's getting cheered or who's getting booed there.
Your want of a storyline is going to cost you this championship tonight.
No, it's not.
Well, we'll see.
It's not.
We'll see then. But it's Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. So, Tidy, what about you, my man?
It's Rhea, even though Nia did 3 annihilators to her, beat Becky twice in a row, and yet we're thinking Becky can win. And that's how good Nia's been. But I know it's going to be Rhea because right now I'm betting with my mind because I want to beat Albert. I want to be a champion of something since I'm on basically 5 weeks off of work, and I'm going to win something when I'm off.
All right. So I'm going to pick Rhea Ripley here. But just so you know, this I just thought of this. Man, you know what would be crazy heat for Dom? To turn on Rhea at Perth and have Nia Jax be his new mommy instead. Can you imagine the heat that kid would get?
It would be ridiculous.
This is why I should never be given the paper and
No, because you just put Dom in any situation that makes him get louder boos. Right?
Oh my goodness. That would be nuclear. It would be so good. But no, Rhea Ripley wins. We're good. Next up is she knows. She knows. The men's Elimination Chamber match. I want to know who wins, and then I want to know who they pin in the end to win it. Albert, you're first.
All right. So it's
exactly. What if Nia just takes him afterwards?
Yeah, just
like Rhea did him.
Runs out of the ring.
That's not your mind now.
Rhea took him from Ray, and then Nia's gonna take him from Rhea. That'd be fantastic.
Literally carries him off on a shoulder.
But all right, Albert, go ahead. Sorry.
It's Drew McIntyre pinning Randy Orton.
Mother. That was mine. Just write mine the same, Jimmy.
Great minds think alike, Tidy.
Yeah. Gotta be Drew and Randy at the end.
So, Tidy, you got the exact same thing. Drew pins Randy Orton in the very end.
Yep, I got written it down right in the corner there. Drew gets Randy.
He said he was going to go after Albert so he could copy him.
No, ask me next time.
You did. I'm going to get you first next time. I was going to test the theory here. Nick, what about you?
Drew wins by pinning Logan Paul.
Woo.
Interesting.
That's fun.
He took mine. Now I got to change mine up. I don't want to pick the same thing as him. So I'm going to pick Drew pins L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We have just screwed Drew McIntyre winning this chamber. I just want to throw this out there.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody else is winning now.
That was the whole plan.
How about who's starting the chamber? I wrote out who's coming out when, who's coming out third, fourth, fifth.
You know what?
I went nuts.
Let's go ahead and add that one to it while we're at it. Who goes in first? Tidy, since you have it, you go first.
I got LA Knight and Logan. Wait, did I write that right? No. I got LA Knight taking out Logan first. My guys were KO and Logan. KO and Logan.
Okay. And this will be for 2 extra points.
Yeah. People started it up.
Albert, you're looking smug down there.
Always.
Let's go. Who do you got?
I'm going to go. Hold on. Now my mind's drawing a blank. It's LA Knight, Randy Orton. Logan Paul, Kevin Owens,
Bobby Lashley.
Okay.
Drew.
And Drew. You know what? I'm gonna go Drew and KO.
Drew and KO.
This is
What
for the
about-
extra points. That's how I'm gonna win. I thought so hard about this shit for like 3 hours, Jimmy. You have no idea.
Okay, Nick. What about you? Who's going first and second?
I'm going to go Drew and KO as well. I think it suits Drew if he's going to win to come in first because it adds to his storyline of I have to fight through everybody to earn my spot.
And KO is the same.
Yeah.
Makes total sense. God damn it, Nick. We think you will.
Cardio for days.
All right. I'm going to go with LA Knight and Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's mine, baby. That's how we're getting that show. That's how we're getting that one started with them two. And look at Louis said, I got LA Knight pinning Logan Paul. You crazy, bro. So what's next? The women's chamber. And since there's one spot left to be filled, the first question is, who is going to be the final entrance into the Elimination Chamber? And Tidy, you're first again.
Hold up. I'm trying to look at exactly how I wrote it. Ask Nick, so I'm not cheating and taking Albert's. Ask Nick.
Nick, who is going to be...
My notes are crazy. Hold on.
Who is going to be the final entrant into the Elimination Chamber?
Women's or men's?
The women's. We already got the men's.
The final entrance.
Yes. The who's going to be the first? Because they only have
Do we
5.
have all 6 yet?
No, we don't.
No, so we're missing one. That's what he's asking. Who you think it's going to be?
Who is going to be the one that gets in with the losers battle royal, whatever they're doing with it?
Well, I would have said Jade Cargill, but I don't think they're going to put her in the chamber because I don't think they wanted to lose this early. So, Shayna Baszler.
He said Shayna. All right, Tidy, who you got?
Going with my heart on this, and I circled Baszler as well. I circled the damn name Baszler, and I'm going with my heart. This is how I'm gonna lose. I swear to God, Zelina.
Second Shayna.
All right, Zelina. My heart.
Wait, you changed it to Zelina?
Well, I'm going Zelina.
All right, she said, "Show us your cat, Nick."
Give me a minute,
Albert. Who you got?
All right, so I think that the general consensus is that last week, what I really wanted to see happen was it was going to be Chelsea Green, that she lucks her way into that chamber. But I'm going to go a little bit out of the box, and I'm going to go with my prediction, and I'm going to go Raquel Rodriguez.
You on that one?
The 5-way match is Zelina, Baszler, Mishin, Zoe, and there was one more.
It's a battle royal, so they haven't
been battle royal.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on.
Get out of here, Lou.
That, but then
Get out of here with that nonsense.
I saw it on Twitter. It said that it was just like the 5 of them getting a loser spot, like they get to try again. Or are they just saying those 5 are going in the battle royal?
Yeah, they're in the battle royal.
5 are going in. There's always the possibility that Adam Pearce could put Raquel in it because she was in the mix when she left, and now she's returned. So just give her that chance.
Man, you're swinging away, Albert.
So with that, there's the kitty. Look at that pretty cat. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the one that needs to be picked, and I'm ashamed that nobody said her name, and that's a Chelsea Green. It's happening, and it's happening.
I want it. I'm telling you. I want Nick. I don't know if you saw last week. My fantasy booking is that it comes down to like 2 women at the end. They take each other out, and it's like, oh, who won? And Chelsea got knocked out at the beginning of the battle royal. Never went over the top. So she rolls in underneath the ropes, like completely like dazed and confused, and she wins and goes to the chamber. I want that to happen so bad.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
But I picked Raquel Rodriguez.
The people deserve it. So yeah, Chelsea Green's winning this, so she could be in the chamber. And how funny is she going to be inside when that chamber goes open? She don't want to be out there with all that. She's going to be. It's going to be entertaining. Put her in the dang thing. It's insane to think that she's not going to be on this show. That's insane. He said, I'd like to say, Rick, for real? That's crazy. Alba Fire. This is Alba Fire. So next question is, who's winning it and who are they pinning in the end? Final two. And Tidy, you're gonna go first. I hope them notes is in order.
Oh, Becky's gonna pin Liv. I'm going for Becky to pin Liv. Sorry.
Son of a butt. Albert?
It was either way, but I just went my heart with Becky on that one. That's why I'm gonna lose again. But whatever.
Oh my goodness.
I was gonna be Liv pins Becky or Becky pins Liv.
Man, you said Becky pins Liv. Albert, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, once again, let's can we confirm all 6 participants because I don't have it in front of me like an idiot. It's
Becky Lynch,
right.
Liv Morgan,
Tiffany Stratton,
Naomi,
and Bianca.
And Bianca.
I want Bianca to be honest, but I'm not. I don't. I don't want to
Bianca.
Dude, just screw it. Whatever.
Becky pins Bianca.
Becky pins Bianca.
What? No.
All right, Nick, go ahead.
I was going to say Becky pins Liv. I don't want to pick the same as Tidy.
That's what was I.
Yes, I'm on a roll. I want to win.
I like mine better now, though, so I'm happy.
Damn it.
What do you think, man?
Feel my confidence, Albert.
I'm just faking it until I make it.
What you got?
I'm trying to think of the contestants again besides Becky.
Becky, Bianca,
Liv,
Tiffany,
Naomi, Bianca.
Becky pins Naomi.
Interesting. Okay. I like that. I think Naomi starts off.
So do I.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say I think that Liv Morgan pins Becky Lynch. That's what's happening.
There it is.
Not what's happening, Jim.
He wants it so bad. I know he does. Get it.
He wants it so bad it's going to screw up his championship.
Yeah. Which is cool for me. I mean, that's fine.
Ain't happening. I'm the only one that's going to have Liv winning. That's going to give me 10 bonus points by how I do the scoring system.
I think Naomi and Liv start off. I think they have some fun. Like they get like the fun, like longer spot in there. And then, yeah, it comes down to Becky and Bianca.
All right. We're going to do one more question with it. Who's going to be the first two in the chamber?
Liv and Naomi.
Naomi and Liv.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Liv and Naomi.
Zelina and Tiffany.
Yeah, Tiffany's not a bad one to have start off too. But yeah.
Who'd you say?
Zelina and Tiffany. Woo. It was originally Baszler and Tiffany, which would have made more sense.
And Tiffany. And then Liv and Naomi for both of y'all. Y'all just copying each other.
Now we just know.
Yep.
I'm going to say Liv Morgan and Tiffany Stratton.
Okay. I like that. The Battling Barbies.
They both have something
SmackDown.
They both have something to prove going into this match. Let them go out there and do it.
That they're not just cosplaying as their respective characters.
Basically.
Don't worry about Liv's character because in about 2 months from now, it's going to be the most awesome thing we've seen on TV.
Yeah, it'll be Harley Quinn and Batboy.
Yeah. All right. So, final match on this card won't be the main event. I don't know why I didn't ask this one first. That's where it was on my paper. Sorry. But the tag team title match between the Judgment Day and Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates.
British Strong Style.
No, they gave it some other
British
crazy name. It was like the Republic.
Yeah, something Catch Kings or something.
Yeah.
Something Catch Republic.
Just call them British Strong Style.
Okay, British Strong Style versus Judgment Day. I'm fine with that one. Not that other nonsense I can't get behind. So we're going to say who wins and who pins who.
Judgment Day, Finn Balor pins Tyler Bate.
Judgment Day, Finn Bate. All right, Tidy. Who you got? Actually, hold on. Albert, you go first.
Judgment Day, Finn pins Pete Dunne.
Man, y'all love some freaking Finn Balor.
Well, the
It's
only
my boy.
reason that Pete and Tyler are on this show is because the Aussies need some Brits to boo.
All right, Tidy. Go ahead and tell me you got Judgment Day.
Honestly, I picked my two favorite people in the match.
Yo, I got. I'm doing the British strong style wins.
Whoa!
It's shocking, and then it's going to be
What is that? So they can put it on Pretty Deadly, and we can have an all English championship match.
What?
Dunn pins Finn.
What?
I like it, Tidy.
You hit your head as well as your foot, Tidy.
That's wild. That's wild.
I know it's time. The reason is I think it's
right
time
there.
for a bit of a breakup, or just starting to happen, because right now Dom and JD keep losing. They're having another match. They're having another match on SmackDown. Dom and them versus the British Strong Style themselves,
and they will lose.
and then they keep losing. But JD finally got a win, and then I feel like Dom's losing, and then Rhea's gonna be like, "Man, y'all lost titles as well." I don't know. I just think it's a start.
And Rhea's going to be cheered very heavily.
Wrestling, because you know what, Judgment Day haven't been like, we are the team to beat. We are the best tag team. They haven't been like going out there saying that. But you got DIY saying it. You got Dunn and Tyler trying to represent that in their own way with the British Strong Style.
Look at that.
So
I think R-Truth.
You got a fan right now.
Thank you.
He's like, yeah.
I think R-Truth. I think Tidy's right in a lot of ways. I think R-Truth is this red herring into the idea that they're not as together as they were, and R-Truth is like this distraction from the fact that they're not the same as they were.
Yeah, he is doing this because it's going to lead to him and The Miz winning the tag titles at WrestleMania.
That's what I was thinking.
Not the British Strong Style. Sorry to bust the bubble there, Tidy. But if you
No,
get it
man,
right,
that's
man,
I
that's
hope
fantastic.
not. I
That's
hope not.
fantastic. It's clearly what he wants, so he'd get a great moment out of it. That'd be cool. But yeah, it's Judgment Day, and it's gonna be Damian Priest pinning Tyler Bate. I can't believe y'all picking Finn over Priest. Man, gotta be built up.
No, because you're not thinking how they finished their matches, Pete.
Exactly.
They finished their matches with the South of Heaven
Choke slam.
Raw with Finn as the legal man.
It's not going to matter how it normally ends. It's going to end in a manner to this time where Damian Priest gets to get a pin in that big stadium to remind people that, oh, yeah, we're still behind this guy. Chill out with your little Money in the Bank
Are they?
talk.
He's got till
We're
July.
fine. We know what you're doing with him. So this is their chance to do that. Damian Priest is pinning Tyler Bate.
Edge cashed his in on day 362. You know what I mean? The first time.
I do like that. It gives Damian Priest his credibility back. I need him to have a big win at a pay-per-view because everybody's like, he's failed his cashes. So good on Damian. I like that, Jimmy. I am a Damian fan as well.
The only thing I can remember of Damian Priest doing that's worth remembering over the past 2 months was the match he had with Drew McIntyre, and he lost it. They got to do something to kind of make us believe. At this point, I feel like they're saving it for the show in Puerto Rico. I think that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
They waited this long.
Show? There's another show in Puerto Rico?
It's going to be a Monday Night Raw.
When? Where?
It's sometime before his cash-in date, and it's just in Puerto Rico. So I think at this point, it just kind of feels like that's probably what they're saving it for.
Yeah.
Because it would be a good pop for him, and it's a moment that he can remember. He wins the title. Or
his name
lives
forever,
when he loses
right?
the title 48 hours later.
Yeah. Something like that. So
Probably.
You got to start giving him some stuff. He's got to get the pin here. So we got some stuff written down. I don't know if Albert likes his chances here. I'm gonna clean sweep this one.
I love my chances. I can't wait to beat you.
Albert, I'm sorry, but that belt is mine. I tell you this, but we need to turn it into the British Heavyweight Championship, just like Will Ospreay did.
I'll tell you what. When I win it,
categories.
When I win it, I'll start calling it that in your honor.
Thank you.
Or in your memory, because I'm killing y'all this time. It's going to be clean sweep.
What you guys are doing is what you guys do really well on your channel. Your fantasy booking.
Yep.
The reality of the fact is that title is staying right here.
I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty good at
it's
it.
All right, Albert, because if you win next month on Wrestling With Your Thoughts, you get a chance to take Jimmy's title.
Oh, shit.
Oh man,
The
imagine
dissension
I beat
begins.
this one, and then I win the other one, and then I have
fantasy
title.
booking.
Podcast bloodline splits up. Okay.
Yeah, you gonna get the thumb, son. All
It
right,
all started with Nick the Geek.
this is the part of the show where we swing it over to the guest for our guestion of the week. I haven't put one of these up all night. We haven't needed it, but there we go. Guestion of the week. We give it our guest a chance to ask us about something, whether a question
Right,
or
gentlemen.
topics that he wants to discuss. So
At the moment, it is heavily rumored that Kazuchika Okada is going to be signing with AEW, yet it has not been confirmed. Okada has not said he's going to AEW. He has not said he's going anywhere else. So until we find out where he is going, I'm still inclined to believe there is a heavy chance he's going to work for WWE. Now, should Kazuchika Okada choose to work for WWE, he will assumably get a WrestleMania match. If you could put him against anybody at WrestleMania, and I do mean anybody, as long as they're alive and still active, who would it be and why?
I have two answers.
Go ahead.
All right, so I think that the first match, WrestleMania, I think that a heel Nakamura and a babyface Okada would be incredible. I also think a babyface Okada and a heel AJ Styles would be incredible. Like, those are my two. Like, I can't figure out which one I would rather have. I feel like Nakamura, his mileage is starting to get up there a little bit more, and I think this heel character, though, has kind of revived him. I think it's the perfect opportunity for Nakamura to, almost like break character for a second and welcome his, his friend into the company and miss them in the face, and bam, they're off to the races. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
I'd like that, but I've already seen Okada versus AJ thrice, and I've seen Nakamura versus Okada 5 times.
That's true, but I've never seen it in WWE.
This is true.
So that's always, and especially for WrestleMania. And I also like the idea that if Okada faces either one of those guys, he's comfortable in the ring with them, knows what they can do. So I think it puts on a better match for him. That's another thing for it too.
Well,
so
to answer my own question, Gunther.
Oh God!
I want to see the Rainmaker versus the Ring General. I've wanted to see that match for years because they beat the snot out of each other, and they're both incredible. Ring generals.
Ooh, I got chills there. That's good.
Tantalizing. Anyone else? Still thinking?
I got one. I hate to take it from Heidi, but I think a perfect candidate to have a match with him. If we're talking,
you're not going to say it.
I am going to say it.
Sheamus?
I think Sheamus is a perfect candidate to be a nice transition because you can get stiff with Sheamus. Sheamus likes it that way, but he can also kind of show you the ropes while he's in there. I know that's not a knock on Okada.
No. Okada doesn't understand how to wrestle on
exactly.
American television.
It's a nice way to bring him in while still giving him a style of wrestling that he's familiar with on a big stage. I hate to put Sheamus in a position where he loses, but he gets to have a dream match with Okada that I'm sure is something he would have loved to have had on his resume. So I think he'd be okay with it. And I think that would be a perfect match for Okada, honestly.
No, I agree. Steady?
It was going to be Sheamus, so I'm just going to leave it alone. That was the only person I can think that can hit hard besides Gunther. And I was like,
Drew is a good one too, though.
Yeah, Drew would be a good one, but he's going to be winning the world title. So
I see Drew winning the world title, so it was Sheamus or So I'm still sticking with Sheamus.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you appreciate that one. I think that's a good answer. I haven't seen that one yet, so
okay,
I like it.
No, I like that.
So that
that was the best I could come up with this week, guys. Sorry.
Oh, you good?
You good?
We got something out of it. That's all right. Oh,
you want a sleeper? How about this as a sleeper? Santos Escobar would be an excellent match for Okada.
Yeah, it would. King Cuerno versus the Rainmaker would be very nice.
Ooh, that'd be sick. Sheamus. Yes, that's right. So it's time of the show where we say our goodbyes. So with that said, we'll swing it down to Nick first, and he can let us know where to find him at.
ladies and gentlemen, if you like my face and if you can stand my personality and you want to see more of me, you can find me on Wrestling Legion over on YouTube. Well, here on YouTube with my good friends Andy and Cy. We do podcasts every Tuesday night. And once a month on the 18th, roughly, around every month, I present a little fancy booking show called Wrestling With Your Thoughts, which Jimmy up there is my heavyweight champion of the world. Undefeated. And still, he just did a title defense tonight where he crushed the competition. If you want to see it, please go check it out. It's on the YouTube channel now. And yeah, that's it. Other than that, my Twitter handles are here. Hit me up.
And on the show in which I just defended, it was rebooked King of the Ring 1999, WrestleMania 1999, and Royal Rumble 1999. So if the Attitude Era is your shiznit and you want to see some different stuff, go ahead and watch that. It was really fun, and I did a fantastic job because I'm still champion. So Albert, now you can let them know what it is and where they need to go.
So you find me on the Slam Sessions. Go over there. The new video was posted on Thursday. I'll probably have another one coming up next week. Nick, I got to ask you. So I think it's 5 a.m. for us, Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
What time is it for you? Is this a nice normal time for you?
Oh, it's great, mate. It's 10 p.m.
Beautiful. I'm happy for you. You get a decent time pay-per-view.
Yeah. For once, I don't have to. Well, I don't sleep, so it doesn't really bother me that pay-per-views are on at 1, 2 in the morning. But it's nice that I get to watch a pay-per-view with my friends, and none of them are going to fall asleep halfway through.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. You know, we all deserve that, and I know that I'm gonna be waking up super duper early. I think it's 5 a.m. for me to watch it. So I'm excited. But yeah, I'm happy that you got a nicer time this time.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Completely unfair. How about that? I think it's unfair.
Oh, you would. You're American. Typical American.
Not
on my regular time. We've had it on our time for the past 70 years. But now that it's the one time that it's not on when we wanted to, I'm going to kick off.
Yeah, bro. 4 a.m. This is ridiculous. I'm going to tweet at the WWE. Y'all don't ever need to pull this
Well,
shit
you're going to be screwed when Bash in Berlin happens.
What is that?
I believe
September?
that's a 6 a.m. start, mate.
That's fine. For me, for you,
No, for you.
6 a.m. I'm fine with. I usually
Germany's only 2 hours ahead of me.
No.
It's 6 a.m. is nothing for me. Like that. Yeah. That's if it's 6 a.m. for him, it's 7 a.m. for me. I'm up like that normal. That's my normal time. I'm waking up. So
mine's 2 a.m. So I'm just gonna basically just wake up at 7 a.m. and just watch it.
I'm gonna wake him up.
I would love to watch it live, but
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna grow a set and I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna go to sleep about 20 minutes afterwards, and yeah.
All right, Tidy, let them know what it is. Give me your final thoughts.
Well, where you can find me is laying on this bed with my broken foot, watching Love and WWE. Like Logan Paul said, I'm a big fan of your husband to Bianca. I love the show right now, man. I'm having a good time. Reminds me of Total Divas. I get to see all the background shit. Oh, sorry, we had to cancel your match. They're all, what? I don't ever get to see that shit in the backstage. So I am living for that shit right now. I'm going to binge it and live my best life on this bed.
So
get at me, Love and WWE.
That's the Tidy review. The Tidy review for, what is it, Love and WWE?
Yep.
Makes me want to watch Bianca and Rhea now. Makes me want to change my choice. I want to see Bianca and Rhea. They kind of brought that up. Anyways, and she was talking with Liv about it too. Liv and Bianca and Rhea it was all about Rhea. And what do you know? Jimmy might be right. It may be Liv. Shit.
Well, the next time you see this face, ear to ear, cheese.
It's going to be really annoying because an Englishman is going to have taken your heavyweight championship.
Cheesing. It's gonna happen. I can't wait. I might wake up just so I can watch it live and start just ha 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 ha.
We'll wake up to like 20 messages.
I've been telling y'all.
Told y'all.
Y'all got me acting like I'm some kind of like super fan over here of Liv Morgan, and I'm not.
No.
I'm just like,
Jimmy, you're just a crazy person. This is all it is.
You're not paying attention to the stories. Oh, everything matters. It always will. So
yeah, everything matters, but not right at this moment in time. Do you know what matters more than your Liv Morgan theory? Becky Lynch being the one they wheeled out for the press conference to face off with Rhea Ripley.
Because she's the bigger name.
And she's the bigger match.
So they brought The Rock out there, and The Rock and Roman is the bigger match. Didn't happen.
Yeah, but that's because of manufactured plan backlash
ifs
to a story that they were already telling.
No, there's a saying about ifs and buts. I don't know what it is, but you know what it is, and that's all that matters.
Buts and coconuts, my friend.
The Drip King wears his crown over his hoodie. You gonna see everybody?
All I hear is this. All I know is that I'm still going to be champion when this is all said and done.
So if you care anything about these results,
I like you, dude. I hate to break it to you, but the only title you're going to hold is Jimmy's if you beat him in a month and a half.
I already hold the championship. I don't know what you guys are talking about. You guys are coming at me. I'm already the
championship. I have one too. I have three.
I don't see a championship.
Well, let me get my John Cena belt. Hold on.
I don't see a championship.
I've done lost the plot. So yeah, if you want to see the results of this whole nonsense right now, you can follow. No, you won't, because I'm not getting up live tweeting that. That's crazy. You can show up back here next week on this channel for this show next week, where we go over the Elimination Chamber, and we can go ahead and have Albert rightfully hand that thing over to me because I just won it. That's what's going to happen. So if you want to see that,
he said it last time.
Bask in my glory. Come back next week and watch it. And if you want to see Albert cry, he'll probably do that too. I'm not going to let up. I'm going to just rub it in. So that'll be a fun show next week, one way or another. So with that said, see you later, everybody. And thank you for watching us. We will see you next week. Toodles.